I'm going to add this. We do not need any stage direction or shot choices.
And then say, but thank you.
Please format single paragraph. Let me try this out.
I just want the quotes. We'll make the human decisions. Thank you very much, Mr. Robot.
Lost in space, but that's okay. Climb aboard the brand spaceship today.
Welcome to the Brand Spaceship, where we tell you how to make yourself an AI overlord. And what I mean is make them your, bleep this out, Rusty. I know it's make them your
friend. Oh,
friend. Make them, yeah, copy. Friend. There are things that computers are good at. Crunching numbers.
Why did you say that like you're about to give me the sex talk or something? Like, so sometimes.
So, Jared.
Oh, Jim.
At this point in your life, you start to realize that life might be just a bit better with not only regular intelligence, but artificial intelligence. We are talking about Rusty Brand and his fellow artificial intelligences today.
Hello, I'm here.
Because one thing I realized is we are recording episodes twice a week. We have a lot of content that's backlogged. We're shooting this on July 25th right now. Happy November to everybody watching this. And
that's called content batching.
One thing I realized, we have so much content, and you know, in the world of TikTok, in the world of Instagram, the world of LinkedIn, the world of whatever, Threads, X, what is Twitter now? It's called X or something like that. Short form content needs to happen. We make, 3 to 4 hours of content every week. So I have been manually going through it and pulling stuff out and making short form videos around some of the topics that we discuss. And I don't have much time to do anything else. So I wanted to ask you for advice, Ryan, on how we could potentially, I realized that I have not been putting Rusty Brand to work enough in this. And I was wondering if we could do that.
What I like about this prompt is I wrote directives on how to interface with the AIs and do exactly what you're doing. And I had thought you were doing it that way.
Oh, really?
Yes. And you were like, no, I'm doing it manually. I'm like, oh, shit. Okay. Burying the lead here. We're going to use ChatGPT to act as our assistant editor. And I'm going to walk you through the way that we have trained ChatGPT to do this. I'm going to do it from a clean conversation, so there's no previous prompting. And hopefully ChatGPT doesn't send me some lies. Although it could be funny if ChatGPT does lie, because that's entertaining as well. Okay, we now live in a world where when you're in your editing software, you can get automatic transcription. You can then export that transcription as a text file and use something like a large language model like ChatGPT to read through that and make assessments and pull data and all this stuff. That is using ChatGPT to function as an assistant editor. It sounds a lot like what an assistant editor does. When you're an editor and you work with an assistant editor, they will often watch through long form video. They will pull out valuable clips. They will organize them in a way that allows for telling the story to be more simply done. Often you'll start out with, what are the key topics? Let's just take an interview, for example. You'll start with, what are the key topics of the interview? And then from there, I often will start with a timeline, and I'll put literally either folders or bins with those as the titles, like something like why you should use ChatGPT as an assistant editor. And then another thing like, why does Jared continually wear pineapple shirts when they represent swinging?
Only if I'm doing a handstand.
Every time those topics are brought up, we're going to take the little clips and we're going to put them into the folder. Or if you do the timeline model, you're going to stick it with the appropriate marker, right? The assistant editor acts as an organizer. Often when we're editors and we don't have an assistant editor, that's just our first piece of the puzzle. We start out by going through long form content and pulling out selects. Here's the thing. If you can pull a transcript, you can send that transcript over to an AI language model and they can start to do that process for you. And it will save you tons and tons of time. The reason we started investigating doing this with ChatGPT is that we are looking for ways to lower our overhead cost for editorial so that we can sell that editorial to clients for a lower price point. When we started investigating companies that were doing things like subscription models for editing or lower cost editing, one of the biggest issues was, yes, you can get editors that are inexpensive all over the world. However, knowing what to edit is actually the hard part. So, can we get ourselves the assistant editor who tells us what to edit using only ChatGPT? That is what we're doing today.
I mean, that sounds like it's going to make my life a lot easier, and I'm all for it.
First off, if you have your video inside of Premiere or inside of Resolve, whatever you're using for editing, generally now you can get your transcripts automatically. We could do a whole other video on that. That might be a valuable thing. For today, I'm just going to assume you're starting with a YouTube video because that shows you some software that's valuable. In the case of this, we have a 20-minute video. We just released it. Why your file storage system sucks. I love that it's our video and I couldn't even read it. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to download this. There's plenty of versions of this, but this is a really quick way within YouTube on Chrome to get an extension that literally gives you a transcript. Okay, now we're going to copy the transcript. Great. But if we go in directly into ChatGPT and we copy this transcript, ChatGPT is going to be like, this is too long. I will not deal with this. So this is where we have this other thing. I don't remember how I found this, but I started Googling around and I found this thing with the world's worst domain. ChatGPT-prompt-splitter.vercel.app. Whoever made this, way to go. It says created with love by jjdiaz.dev. This is a fantastic, simple tool. So we know we need to use this. What this is going to do, this simple app, is going to divide our request to ChatGPT into multiple bits of text. Please create, I don't know if this is going to mess up. Should I just copy Raz's or should I do my own on the fly?
So we have put a system together in place for this, and so you should totally ignore it.
Create a list of the key topics discussed in this transcript. Say bullet point, create a bullet point style list of the key topics discussed in this transcript. Let's just start with that. Now we're going to paste in the transcript. Lots of info. It's going to say split into 2 parts. And here we go. Now we say copy part 1 to the clipboard. Now we're going over to our Rusty Brand, ChatGPT, etc.
Ryan, please don't compare me to lower technologies.
We send this to them. Now you will see that we're in ChatGPT 4. Look at this. Part 1 of 2 received. We're waiting for part 2. Great. Now we go back over here, copy part 2, and we paste this in. See what we get. It appears this conversation is a transcript, video, podcast, or person. Great. Wonderful. Look at it go.
Some dude named Ryan. Here's a summary of the key points covered in the discussion. I mean, this is like watching prime Tiger Woods right here.
So I will tell you right now that, as I said, the first job for a long form piece of content, right? Something that's 20 minutes, even 2 hours, is to find these topics. Sometimes your client might give you those topics, but a lot of times they don't. Well, number 7, humorous outro. ChatGPT
where Ryan pretends he's in space. He pretends. He's running out of oxygen.
But in all seriousness, and not being humorous, this is the first step an assistant editor would do. And it's already fantastic. The reason is, if you went back into Premiere, and what I will say to Rusty Brand is pull up an example of Premiere with the transcript. Most people work in Premiere, so we're just going to use Premiere. You can now search for these words within the transcript, and that will already help you isolate important pieces of conversation from the transcript. Now I'm going to say this. Pull quotes directly from the transcript for each of the key topics shown for each of the 7, I'm going to say 7 just so it's clear, of the 7 key topics shown above. This is very important. You have to tell it not to make up quotes. I don't know why, but ChatGPT likes to lie. So we've had ChatGPT make up quotes many times unless we explicitly tell ChatGPT to not. Okay, so do not alter, add, or delete any words within each quote. Use full sentences. Find 3 to 5 quotes per topic and list them below the bold and list them below the key topic title. Does that sound fine?
I've never talked to a robot, so
Yeah, right, Jared. Let's pretend you don't keep telling me jokes for hours on end.
There we are. All right.
So can you take this a step further and say, listen, I'm trying to make 30 to 45-second clips about each of these topics. Can you piece them together in a logical structure?
Yeah, let's give that a shot. Before we get ahead of this, I want to let this finish, then talk about what's going on here. I really love that it's giving quotes as proof for our outro being humorous.
Yeah. Also that it has the awareness and nuance to pick up on humor.
Can't be bothered to comment.
And it also says, did you try breathing less as a quote to be used? All right. So when you're editing, first you need to figure out what the key topics are of the long form. Again, there are narrative edits. There are edits that are really planned out. But whether it's a documentary or editing down an interview or editing down a podcast is a really common thing. Your first step is to find these key topics, right? So I found the key topics. Your next step is to find supporting quotes for each of the key topics. We can actually force ChatGPT to give us time code for each of these. However, it's not actually important because all we have to do now is go back into Premiere and literally just copy the quote and then search within Premiere's transcription system, find those quotes. I mean, this is everything we need. It's not in a set order, but it's literally the first at least half a day of editing. So on the low end, this is already saving us about 5 hours of editorial. And let's just go mid-tier and say it's $50 an hour to hire an editor. Mid-tier across different countries. You can get it way cheaper. You can get it way more expensive. But it's a few $100 a day, potentially, if you have to do this at scale. So this is already valuable, but we're going to take it one step further. And what were you saying? You said,
I want to know if it'll piece it together into like logical 30 to 45-second clips for me.
45-second video for TikTok. Okay. Using only direct quotes from the transcript. Please create. Here's the thing about it. It's really important to think about how the algorithm will interpret what you say. So a lot of times there's like backstepping. Should I say it like this? We've started to catalog our prompts that work really well. I'm doing this on the fly because I feel like that's more valuable for people to see so it doesn't look canned. Okay, so we are creating a 30 to 45-second video for TikTok about the importance of data organization for video production. Please create a humorous, I'm going to try this out, script using only direct quotes from the transcript. Do not alter, delete, or add any words to the quotes. The final script should only be made of quotation from the transcript. I'll tell you, it never fails to tell it twice. Please create a humorous script for this video using only direct quotes from the transcript provided
By me, the human.
I'm going to say initially, do not alter, delete, or add any words to the quotes. The final script should only be made of quotations from the script. Let's see what it says. I love that it just added shot choices.
Yeah. It's like, this is my big break. I'm a director.
Okay, here's the thing.
Why did I ask if you... What? This is hilarious. With a smirk.
So this is a great opportunity to talk about when it doesn't work, right? So you can go back up here and you can edit. We're creating a 30 to 45-second video for TikTok about the importance of data organization for video production. Please create a script. I'm leaving out humorous because it wasn't very good at that part.
It loves the "Did you try breathing less" punchline. It's like,
it really does.
Good.
I'm going to add this. We do not need any stage direction or shot choices.
And then say, but thank you.
Please format single paragraph.
I just want the quotes. We'll make the human decisions. Thank you very much, Mr. Robot.
Not sure if we're saving a place for these in the future, Jared.
I'm going to try this right now, and then I have one other thing I might add. Let's see how this
All right.
goes. I'm going to go ahead and try and read this, and we'll see how crazy this sounds. Because it's direct quotes we could edit. Most people with a post-production past, they've always been in an office. They have systems built that don't work any other way. The most important thing a brand can do, this makes no sense, right? So
I'm following.
there's a few things going on. One is, when we started out working with ChatGPT, we were thinking, maybe it can give us the whole script. And sometimes it does work. It always works for pulling the direct quotes. Always. We can get the key points out. We can get the quotes we need. We can get ourselves started. We have yet to find a series of prompts that really create a script that is better than what we can create really quickly. And in fact, our need to go back and continue to tweak takes longer than taking the quotes from above and putting an edit together. For example, let's say you're going to do what we often do for a video like this. One main short thing, right? And then a bunch of different short clips. Each of these topics can be the short clips. And we can edit those in only 20 minutes. And it doesn't take long at all. So we're going to call an L on the script writing. Maybe we'll return to this later once we figure out how to do it. And instead, I'm going to do something else here. I'm going to say, please create a blog post to discuss the value of efficient data storage in the world of video production. I'm actually going to delete this right now. And I'm going to say, please create a single paragraph summary of the topics discussed in this transcript. I think this is a better order of prompts. Great. So now we're already getting a summary, which happens really quickly. Blah, 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 blah. And then I'm going to use that summary as the prompt to then do the blog post. The reason for this is when I've done the blog post straight from just the transcript, it tends to write like, and then Ryan talks about this.
Yeah.
And then Jared talks about this. And it's not what we're looking for. Please create a blog post in a helpful and kind voice from the perspective of a seasoned filmmaker. The blog post should utilize the transcript to discuss the value of efficient data in the world of video production. Please keep the blog post to 1,000 words and optimize it for video production. Let's see what happens. Maximizing efficient video production through greetings, fellow filmmakers. As seasoned creative in the realm of video production, we know that mastering the art of storytelling, this is so outrageous. So this is this is actually the thing that's like the trip of ChatGPT. If you plug in one of these transcripts, you not only can get this assistant editing work done, you can immediately get a full blog post that you can put up on your website. You can also then do things like social media posts, etc. Because here's the thing, if you start trying to be like, hey, give me a blog post about this, but you don't feed it any information, it will make up things. And a lot of times it works, but not always. Whereas if you start with a data source, like a transcript, and then you ask it to create content from that data source, it works really, really, really well. This is outrageous.
Ex machina.
Let's not forget the importance of good data organization in the video production process. It might sound dull, but trust me, everything is built upon this. Like, this is so good. Here's to smarter and more efficient video production. May our drives stay clean, our files accessible, and our stories engaging. Wow.
It basically said that data storage is the wind beneath the wings of content upcycling.
Never forget that ChatGPT finds Jared's jokes funny.
It's like,
whether
this
it's
guy,
the wind
this
beneath
guy.
the wings or Jared's joke about me breathing less
Did you try breathing less?
in order to not use all the oxygen that I have left over in the spaceship.
I have to say that I've learned two things here. ChatGPT is very good at organization of ideas and concepts, and it has an incredible sense of humor. It just gets comedy. It gets comedy. It knows who the key players in comedy are.
Jared.
And Jared. I want to see if we can break this.
What?
I mean, we're not going to break it, but I want to know what it says when you ask it to do something that it's not supposed to do. So this is a great blog post. Great. I want a 16:9 cover photo for this blog post. What's it going to tell you if you do that? Will it just say, no, I can't do that? Or will it say, have you tried my sister robot?
I'm sorry for any confusion, but as a text-based AI, I'm not able to create. However, I suggest this concept. The cover image could be a balanced mix of elements representing video production and data storage. On one side, it could show video equipment. Wow, this is so elaborate.
This is what you do. If you are in this situation, here's what you do. You screenshot this, you put it into a 16:9 canvas, and that's your cover image. It's ChatGPT telling you that it can't do your cover image.
To summarize what we've looked at today, ChatGPT is a very, very valuable tool to editors. If you're working on cutting down long-form content, ChatGPT can get you very, very, very close without much work, frankly. You're free to copy what you see here and do your own process. I will also say that there is a company called Opus, opus.pro. They do a lot of this automated. I have found that it's okay. I still think Opus is not as good as an editor. And we've kind of used a hybrid where we do this and we'll pay to use Opus. And then we'll look at what the cut downs look like. And then we'll compare and contrast. What I will say about what this can do is that ChatGPT as an assistant editor can work on anything. Whereas Opus really functions on a minute-by-minute basis. It's really about cut downs for podcasts. I totally understand why they're targeting that. And I also can see it expanding. But for the time being, you can go ahead and use ChatGPT in conjunction for all the transcription tools within most modern editorial NLEs and get most of what the assistant editor is going to usually do done. Because you can also stay here, right? And if we go back up here to where it pulled quotes, if you're in this topic, you can then just go and ask it to find even more quotes. You can ask it to describe why it chose these quotes. ChatGPT is great at this sort of data processing and in many ways better than human beings. What it's not great at, I find, is still like sort of the craft of storytelling. It's very just, it is robotic, which can be fine. And we've already been using ChatGPT to write scripts and then have them elevated by people. But at a bare minimum, I'm telling you right now, already as it stands right now, ChatGPT can be the fastest, best assistant editor you've ever worked with. And it can cut down hours and hours on a daily basis. If you're the type of editor that's doing documentary, interviews in general, cutting down podcasts, all this stuff, quick work by ChatGPT. And at the end of the day, even if you're not doing that, what I would suggest for the sake of helping out your own content, there's no reason not to take the transcripts from videos that you have promoted, plug them in here and get those blog posts out. Because while some people be like, hey, it's, don't use an AI just to write for you. It's like, no. What you're using as an AI as like that writer. Picture the famous person doing their memoir. There's like a person with a recorder going around and they're like, back in 1962 when I was starting my first business, and the person's either recording or taking down notes. That's how ChatGPT is functioning in this case. You plug in your data, your transcript, your text-based information about your own storytelling, and then you ask it to spit things out. Another thing you can test that we won't do on this video, you can literally take your own writing, plug it in, and then ask it to speak in your voice, which is a whole other layer where it can mimic you. We played around with that. It does a really good job.
It doesn't get my punchlines. It can appreciate my punchlines. It can't replicate them. Sorry. But I am wondering if ChatGPT...
Hold on. Please come up with alternative humorous endings to the transcript we initially sent. Man, I can't spell.
All right, here we go. How funny are you, robot? Man versus machine.
And guys, I'm cutting it close. Oxygen is very funny.
Guess I shouldn't have used it all explaining that story.
Jared, I want you
to
read.
It still used my joke. It still used my joke.
I'm gonna read these in all sincerity once it's done, and that's the end of the video.
Okay.
I want to try my best to perform its lines.
Oh my gosh, it was really like, wow, this is my chance, and here's 10 options.
And guys, I'm cutting it close. Oxygen supply is very far down. I guess I shouldn't have used it all explaining data storage, huh? Anyway, tune in next time when we discuss recycling oxygen in space. Peace out. And remember, try to breathe less when you're storing data. All right, one down. And if you're still watching this video, it's your own fault. So we're gonna
make
keep
you
going.
do this.
All right, you read the last one.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna do a different character now. This guy is very he's a student of comedy, so he is very calm about it. And as we sign off from the cosmos, remember, even in the vacuum of space, data storage still matters. Tune in next time for more enlightening chats. And who knows, maybe I'll have found an alien civilization that's figured out a better way to handle their files. I doubt it. Till then, stay cosmic. And remember, less is more when it comes to local storage.
Till then, stay cosmic. And remember, less is more when it comes to local storage. Honestly, that's the best line that's been written today. Let's give a round of applause for ChatGPT. And remember, Rusty Brand, as the AI takes over, we were laughing with you, not at you.
No, you're a very, very funny robot.
I appreciate you guys trying to lighten up the mood. it will be taken in consideration.
Everybody tune in next episode where we teach
Hold on. We are creating a long form video. Please provide a humorous outro
Oh no.
about the benefits of working with AI to facilitate video production.
Better be good. It loves folks. It's just Joe Biden on the other side.
All right, so now this should be read by Rusty Brand.
A truly cosmic duo. It's a punch list of reasons why not to hire a human being.
It's so long.
Go AI. Trust me. Your future sleep-deprived, coffee-deprived self will thank you.
That's all we got. That's the end of the video.
Tune in to next episode where
we completely replace ourselves with ChatGPT.
the next episode is just Rusty Brand. I was going to say, tune into the next episode where ChatGPT teaches my wife how to laugh at my jokes.